We actually have multiple good Tesla stock news stories today, but let's start with the bad news. Remember that strike I reported on in Sweden? Well, now it is actually happening. Tesla mechanics in Sweden staged a strike on Friday today, demanding the automakers sign a collective wage agreement. The strike organized by the IF Metal union impacted around 130 Tesla mechanics across 7 workshops in Sweden. However, it is important to note that in Sweden particularly, about 90% of the country's workforce works under some sort of collective agreement. Tesla informed the union on Tuesday that they had no intention of signing a collective bargaining agreement, asserting that this was not a practice the company followed anywhere in the world. The striking Tesla workers in Sweden are currently receiving compensation from the union equivalent to their regular wages. The union warned that if Tesla does not alter its stance, the IF Metal union plans to expand the strike on November 3rd. Encompassing all workshop repairs on Tesla vehicles in Sweden, not just those carried out by Tesla's own employees. Sweden is a tiny market for Tesla, so in theory, Tesla could easily just push back for half a year, 1 year, or even longer and not give in to unions' demands. I don't really see an issue with paying the workers more, but if these workers enter a collective agreement with Tesla, that may trigger other employees in other countries to also unionize against Tesla, and Tesla really does not want that. There was a threat of a possible strike in Germany, but Tesla successfully negotiated with all of these workers. Tesla did give increases to these workers. We are not seeing that here though. Overall, the strike is not great news for Tesla, but also keeping in mind that 90% of the people in Sweden are under some sort of a collective agreement. I don't think it's as bad as it may first appear. And really, Tesla has all of the power here and not the union. So not great news, but not really bad news either. Tesla has increased the price of the Model Y long range in the US by $500. Tesla also increased the price of the Model Y Performance in China by about $2,000. On the surface, of course, this is quite bullish. Farzad says, "This is incredible. Tesla's advertising strategy is paying dividends already. Wow." Even James is actually quite happy. He says, "This is the right direction." This is only a 1% increase. It's not a huge increase, but that 1% goes directly to the bottom line, which means it actually increases the total profits by more than just 1%. For example, you sell something for $10,000, you profit $100 because your margins are small, but then you increase the price by just $100, so you only increase it by 1%, and yet your profits actually double because now you make $200 in profit instead of $100. Tesla's profits will not double from this, obviously, but this is just to illustrate how a 1% increase in price actually gives you more than just 1% increase in profits. Gary just did this poll asking everyone, why did Tesla cut the price by $500 after cutting it by $2,000 earlier this month? Most people think it's because of strong Q4 orders, but also many think is because Tesla wants consumers to buy now. Troy thinks that Tesla is encouraging buyers with existing orders to take delivery now instead of waiting for more discounts. If somebody ordered before the price increase, they have locked in the $500 cheaper price, but only if they complete delivery soon, otherwise their order will be canceled. We have seen Tesla increase their prices just by a little bit earlier, and it is not obvious if Tesla did that because they actually had more orders or if they just try to get people to order now instead of waiting for more discounts. I personally think it's a bit of both, with a slightly bigger reason being that Tesla is actually getting more orders and it wants to increase the price just to keep its inventory relatively steady instead of the inventory decreasing and the wait times coming back. And Tesla increased the prices a few times by tiny amounts this year already. So just because Tesla increased the prices today does not mean that the prices will only go up now. I think it is a bullish sign, but if you want to draw strong conclusions from this, you need to look at Tesla's inventory discounting also. These inventory trackers are not that accurate anymore, but they still provide us with some relatively good data. We saw the inventory increase earlier here, and then it went down by quite a bit supposedly. and we saw price cuts, but now the inventory is actually going up slightly. If the increase was actually substantial, let's say $1,000 or $2,000, then I would say, yeah, this is definitely bullish. But this here it's not exactly clear if Tesla is mostly doing this just so that people stop waiting for more discounts, or if they are doing this because they are actually getting a lot more orders. Regardless of the reason for the price increase, I view this overall as good news. But in the long term, I still do expect quite a few more price cuts. Now, the increase in China was a bit bigger, but that was just for the performance model. If we see price increases for the long range model and the standard range model, then I say, yeah, that's pretty bullish. For now, it's good news, but it's not crazy good news. Tesla just released a new color for the Model S and X, as you can see right here. Well, the video is not exactly super high definition, so you can't really see very clearly, but I think it looks pretty good. This color is a zero added cost color. The old midnight silver metallic color is discontinued on the S and X. This is the same stealth gray the new Model 3 from Giga Shanghai has. Drive Tesla Canada posted a comparison between the two. There's not really that much of a difference. It's just the stealth gray is a bit darker. I want to see an actual photo comparison. These images, I don't think they do a very good job of actually showing you what the color looks like. This comparison is maybe a bit better. The new one is at the top. I like the top better. Definitely I like the top better. Hertz says it is reassessing its electric vehicle strategy due to Tesla's price reductions and unexpectedly high repair costs. The news was announced during the company's third quarter earnings call. Hertz initially announced its plan to order 100,000 Tesla vehicles and have them in their global rental fleet by the end of 2022. However, this plan has encountered several roadblocks. Tesla's aggressive price cuts have significantly reduced the resale value of the EVs in Hertz's fleet, leading to a 1/3 decrease in their value. Moreover, the rental car company has experienced higher than anticipated repair costs for its EVs. The CEO explained that these unexpected expenses, especially in the context of vehicle damage, have impacted Hertz's margins. But despite these challenges, the CEO affirmed Hertz's commitment to buying 100,000 cars from Tesla. Hertz currently has around 50,000 electric vehicles in its fleet, with approximately 35,000 of them being Teslas. As EV prices continue to stabilize and decline, Hertz anticipates buying more electric vehicles, capitalizing on their improved cost effectiveness. There's an article on Yahoo that says, real-world test has Tesla Semi silencing critics. I never expected that Semi would actually be able to get numbers like this. And yeah, if I think about it, there's nothing really about the Semi that people are criticizing other than when will it be produced in mass scale. And the answer to that question is pretty obvious. Tesla is building the factory in Nevada for that. So once the factory is built, that's when mass production will start. Supposedly, Elon Musk is still in talks for Tesla to invest in Indonesia, claims the president of Indonesia. Actually posted that on X yesterday, but the way he presented it, it didn't seem like Tesla is actually interested, so I wouldn't think much of it. Here's some good news. We are pleased to share that the all-new redesigned Model 3 has been detected on our platform, and we can confirm they have Autopilot Hardware 4 on board. Of course, that was expected, but it was never officially confirmed. We can now see the refreshed Model 3 sales in the actual sales data and not just some person saying, oh, I just got my delivery. No, we can see that the Model 3s are actually selling now in Italy. This is based on official data. This State University Police Department has added 2 Tesla Model 3s to their fleet of patrol vehicles. That is good, and we will see a lot more of these, especially when the Cybertruck comes out, I think. If you need more superchargers near where you live, make sure that you go and vote so that they open a new supercharger exactly where you want it to be opened. S&P Global Mobility data says that Tesla is the most popular EV brand for US fleet companies. There was a Model 3 event in France and it looks like it went pretty well. That is so crowded, everyone is all over the Model 3. And the Model 3 also debuted in Singapore. Tesla stock is now back to being #1 in Cathie Wood's biggest ARK Invest fund. Tesla stock yesterday was 1% higher after hours after Ford said on the earnings call that they would be adjusting future capacity to better match market demand, given Ford's massive losses in their EV business to date. Ford announced they had taken out some Mustang Mach-E production and were slowing down several investments, including making a decision to delay the second Blue Oval SKJV battery plant. Ian Geary says it's not capitulation, it's capital management, but it's certainly not looking good for Ford here. The company's EV unit lost $1.3 billion in Q3 with a negative EBIT margin of 75.6%. That's a lot of money lost. Ford says many North America customers interested in buying EVs are unwilling to pay premiums for them over gas or hybrid vehicles, sharply compressing EV prices and profitability. Yeah, because they can just buy a Tesla and not pay any premium. Yeah, Ford continues to lose money. It now loses $36,000 per EV sold. And the postponement of the $12 billion EV investment perhaps has also something to do with these strikes. I like this news. X wants to create a newswire service called X-Wire. And if community notes can appear on those, oh, that would be wonderful. Ford says the 41-day UAW strike cost them a total of $1.3 billion and canceled production of 80,000 vehicles. I guess it's not too bad because their inventory is relatively high right now anyway. The new UAW labor deal will increase Ford's labor costs by $850 to $900 per vehicle, though. Some people are wondering if Elon could sell more Tesla shares to fund Twitter's negative cash flow. Here's what Elon said last December, which seemingly precludes him from selling any Tesla shares until 2024 and probably not until 2025. I won't sell stock until, I don't know, probably 2 years from now. Definitely not next year under any circumstances. So that's 2023. And probably not the year after. So probably not 2024, but that's not guaranteed. One big reason why Tesla stock went so low last year was because Elon Musk just kept selling Tesla stock, but that's not really likely in the next 12 months. Ian Geary thinks that Elon will not be selling Tesla stock anytime soon. Here's some really good news. Remember that probe from the European Union that wanted to look into Chinese subsidies for EV automakers, and because Tesla is making its EVs in China and then exporting from China to Europe, there was a bit of a concern. Maybe Tesla would be affected as well. And the Model 3 is only made in Giga Shanghai. The Model Y, well, that vehicle wouldn't really be affected because we have Giga Berlin. But the Model 3 could have been affected. But now we learned that, no, this is not going to be a problem. And that's really good because remember that previously officials said that the investigation could include Tesla, but now we are not hearing that anymore. The investigation is focused on BYD, SAIC, Motor, and Geely. Geary predicts that the next week will be strong for deliveries within China because of the refresh Model 3. If next week we don't see very strong numbers, I won't be disappointed. I do expect the numbers to pick up though, closer to the end of that quarter especially. And if you remember the rumor from yesterday, it is certainly possible because Tesla supposedly is already producing 1,200 refresh Model 3s per day right now. And look at what Ford CEO just said about Tesla. A great product is not enough in the EV business anymore. We have to be totally competitive on cost. But Tesla and Elon Musk have provided a silver lining for the company. Tesla actually gave us a huge gift with the laser focus on cost and scaling the Model Y. They set the standard and we are now making real progress on our second and third cycle EVs that are in the midst of being developed today. The thing is, they are still losing incredible amounts of money with every single EV sold. Sam Kors from ARK Invest has a few words to say. I think holding on to a wrong assumption is creating a split narrative for EVs. An assumption of many has been that when traditional automakers decide to make EVs, it will be a swift transition and they will dominate with their expertise and scale. But now traditional automakers are saying it's too hard to make affordable EVs and are delaying plans. At the same time, BYD and Tesla are demonstrating that it is possible to make affordable EVs profitably while BYD combines their hybrids together with their EVs. So we don't really know exactly how much money they're making or losing from EVs. I would look at points number 1 and number 2 and say the assumption is incorrect, but if you still hold the assumption to be true, then the explanation people are forced into is that EVs aren't ready for prime time, because if they were, then the traditional automakers would be succeeding with them. As you can see, that's circular and bad logic. I agree with Sam here. And I'd like to thank all of my Patreon supporters. I will be posting a new exclusive video sometime in the next maybe 10 hours. I'll see you there. By joining my Patreon, you will get access to how much I think it is fair to pay per Tesla share each year between 2023 and 2033. If you sign up for the investor tier of support, you will also get my valuation model of Tesla stock with a 45-minute video walkthrough. And YouTube says you should watch this video next, but if you haven't finished watching that discussion about the future with Elon Musk, watch this one first. My name is Matt Posius. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.